Hey, what's going on? How's everybody? We're in my kitchen. So this is going to be the follow-up video for the one I just released about harvesting the garlic scapes. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's about 5 minutes long. Just shows you kind of how to pick your garlic scapes, what you're looking for, yada yada. Bit of useful information because garlic picking time is going to be about, give or take, 2 weeks from now. If you've got garlic growing, you don't want to grow those garlic scapes. You want to harvest them all, because if not, your garlic cloves will stop growing when those garlic scapes are growing. All right? So I picked them all. I've got a couple of pounds right behind me in the sink right there. And I'll flip the camera around so you guys can see. I'm just rinsing them off. There's probably little bits of bugs and dirt or whatever on them. So we're just going to give them a rinse. Then what we're going to do is we're going to prep them and we're going to throw them in the dehydrator. You can pickle your garlic scapes. People make pesto out of it. You can pan fry them with some olive oil and garlic. They're really tasty. But I wanted something that I can preserve long term. I didn't want to take the time to pickle them just because if my kids don't want to eat them, then I've just gone through the whole water bath process and all that nonsense for nothing. So this way I can literally wash them, chop them, throw them in the dehydrator, let them go till they are absolutely bone dry, right? Like a dead stick in the forest. And then what I'm going to do when they're done, I'm going to throw them in my blender and I'm just going to powder the ever-living crap out of them. And then what I can do with those is I can add them to dishes like scrambled eggs or omelets or soups, or probably even use it as a topping for barbecue chicken mixed with some paprika, whatever, because they've got like a hot garlicky onion flavor to them. It's not like eating garlic. It's a bit of a different flavor. Now it's got a more of a green flavor, obviously, because of the chlorophyll in them and stuff, but they're really tasty. So if you guys have garlic growing, go check your garlic scapes and make sure that you're picking your garlic scapes off, okay? So let's flip this camera around. We'll show you guys what we're doing. So we've just got them in the sink. Here's our garlic scapes. Delicious. So we're just giving them a wash. Got a big pile in there. We planted 4 pounds of garlic, so each garlic plant will produce a garlic scape, okay? And when you harvest them off the plant, you can literally just grab them and they'll just snap, see? Well, they might not because they've been sitting in water, but okay. See, they just snap. You don't even need tools to pick these things. And if you guys want garlic scapes, contact your local garlic farms, because up here where I'm at, what they'll do is, if you go to a garlic farm, if you pick a bin of garlic scapes for them, you can pick as much as you want after you pick a crate of scapes for the farm. So if you really want some of these, all it's going to take you is a bit of labor, and you can probably get as much of these as you want. So then you could make pickles and pesto and whatever else you want to do. So we're just giving these a bit of a rinse, and they're pretty clean, right? Because I mean, they're 2.5 feet up in the air. So we're just giving them a bit of a rinse. So I'm going to drain these off. I got a cutting board set up. Let's move forward. All right, so we got them out of the sink, and we just kind of give them a cursory drying off with a towel. We don't want them soaking wet, right? Because you're going to be dehydrating these things. So the drier they are when you start, the better off you're going to be. So anything that kind of looks like that, I'm going to try and pick off, but we're going to be going through this whole thing pretty quick. So some of it might sneak by me a little bit. Now they are also starting to dry out because I harvested these a couple of days ago. So, but I'm not worried about them drying out because we're literally putting them in a dehydrator, right? So it's just, nature's already started the process for me. So I got a big bowl. We're going to cut them up, throw them in that bowl. Got our knife. Yep, I know. This is what happens when you let your roommate throw your $350 handmade chef's knife in the sink with a ceramic cup in it. Yeah, awesome, huh? Don't let your friends touch your good knives. So we're just going to start chopping. So they're a little awkward to cut because they're all kind of curly. So I'm not too picky about how long they are, but I need them to be long enough that they're not going to fall through the holes in my dehydrator, right? Because then they're all going to end up in the bottom. So I'm just kind of grabbing a few at a time. You know, grab 2, 3, 4, whatever. Just kind of getting them generally laying all in one direction. Starting at an end, you know, giving it about a 2-inch gap and just kind of, see what I'm saying? And I'm expecting these to take, oh, I would say probably 18 hours or so to dry, because, I mean, essentially they're like, you know, green sticks. So, and I'm going to dehydrate these on a pretty high temperature. I'll probably do it at about 135. So, see what I mean? So you just kind of work your way through and don't cut your fingers off. And I'm just going to keep filling this bowl. See, we're already, doesn't that look good though, right? If you guys could smell my kitchen right now, oh, it smells so good. All right, so I'm gonna get the rest of these done. Okay, we got them all chopped up. So I figured, so you guys could get a bit of a perspective on how big this bowl is. Here's my pack of smokes beside it, okay? So, I mean, substantial size bowl. So we got them all chopped up. They're all, you know, hopefully 2 inches or less. There might be a couple of larger ones in here, right? But, so they're all chopped up. I'm thinking I should get my scale. You know what? I'm going to go get my scale. We're going to weigh this. And we'll do a before and after. All right. So we got the bowl tared. Let's see. We got 1 pound, 13 ounces. See if we can bring that down. Hang on so you guys can see. There. 1 pound, 13 ounces. So just shy of 2 pounds. I'm going to write that on my whiteboard. Now the easy part. Just load them up onto the dehydrator trays. There, something like that. And if I have extras, I'll just lift some of these trays back up and just top them back up a little bit. So if you guys are new to dehydrating, when you're doing this, you really do want to spread your stuff out. You want as much airflow in here as possible, right? Because that's what's doing all the work for you. I think we're definitely going to have to add a little more per tray. Let's go a little heavier here. And as these dehydrate, they're going to shrink anyways. So the air will start moving. The air will start moving around a little bit better. Okay, well that works out good because we have 1 tray left. I gotta buy a new dehydrator. I've got 2. But I've used them so much that these plastic trays are starting to fall apart on me here. So, all right, well, let's take a little bit off of this one. Throw a little bit more onto this one. Lighten the load. There we go. Make sure I can sit that flat. Get the dehydrator. Get out of the way here. If you guys are looking for a value priced dehydrator, these Sultans right here, I've literally been using this dehydrator since like 2009. So the key parts about buying a dehydrator, you gotta get one where you can adjust the temperature. If you can't adjust the temperature, it's trash. Don't waste your time. You have to be able to adjust your temperature settings. throw that up here, plug that in. Clean this up a little bit. All right. Throw the lid on. And then we are going to set this. Hang on, bring you right down, get you a bird's eye view here. We're going to set this to 135. There. 135 on the dial. Oh, you can't, that's all awkward for you guys. Hang on. We'll fix that up here. There you go. 135. And I'm just going to let this run until these things are shriveled up and hard and crispy, because when they go into my blender, I want them to literally just turn into powder. And that's it. So it's now Wednesday morning, 10:15. I don't know how long these will take. I'm guessing 18 hours. So when they're done, I'll let you know, and we'll keep going. Okay, so we started out with 6 trays, and as they shrunk down, I just kept reducing the amount of trays so that way they're closer to the heat. And if you can hear them, they sound like plastic. They're completely, right? Crack like a spaghetti noodle does. So I'm going to collect them out of here. It took 30-ish odd hours to get them to this point. I'm going to take them from here. I'm going to put them in the blender right here, and we're going to turn them into powder. Gonna use a funnel to put it in the jar because I'm a klutz, and you can see I already made a mess. So, use the funnel, pour that in there, probably make another mess in the process, because that's how I roll. I'm going to scrape out this blender, and we'll be back in a second. So we got her all in the quart jar. Got a fancy label on. If you guys don't have about 25 rolls of this green painter's tape at your house, you're missing out. So we started off with 818 grams of garlic scapes, fresh out of the garden. We dehydrated them. We lost 586 grams, leaving us a total of 232 grams, which is just over half a pound. So I figured we were going to lose a lot. Now we just stick a lid on. And clean up the bit of a mess I made. But that's our end result, guys. Long-term storage. So another option for you guys to put food away in your pantry. And I mean, there's what? A good third of a quart jar in here worth. And it took a little bit of time and a little bit of hydro. But now I've got these for as long as I want to. So that's it. Hope this helps. Gives you some options, you know. And try it yourself. And let me tell you, this smells so good. We're going to put it in omelets and scrambled eggs, and I think I'm actually going to put some on some chicken and throw it on the barbecue with some smoked paprika that I made. So, all right, guys, grow good food, put your food away, and have an awesome day. Like, share, subscribe, you know, do all those things. All right, guys, later.